fucking neck, bitch!
Making our website responsive is going to be really important these days with the web and the way that it is. A lot of people are accessing your website on mobile devices, and it just has to look right on a mobile device. So right now our website, it's not responsive. Some of the images are responding, but we ultimately want all of our elements to stack properly. Whenever we hit a certain point, a certain width of our screen, we want the elements to actually get some additional styling added to them. And this is what we were talking about earlier when we were looking at the min width. Whenever it's a minimum width that we have something happen, well, we're doing it the other way and we're using max width this time. So the key here is the media and only screen, and this is where we set max width, and this is where we're going to look for a breaking point that we want something, once it hits this max width, we want something else to happen. So maybe for now what we're going to do is we'll just update this main content area, so that the one that we set to white, let's set that to the container area, so let's set that to red whenever we hit, or green, so that it really stands out, so we can see that whenever we hit a certain width, we see that it all goes green. So whenever we're below this breaking point, it goes green. And I'm going to just show you over here as well. It's really important to understand how this is all working. Within Chrome, we do have the ability to simulate different size screens here, and that's just by clicking this toggle device toolbar. And we can simulate an iPhone, we can simulate Nexus, Galaxy, and so on. So these are the default widths that are available, as well as we can customize the responsive size. So we see that whenever we get below 700, that's when the new styling is going to take effect. And this is where ultimately we want to move this content, our side menu, underneath our main content area. So we want these to once again take 100% available width and remove the floating from it, and then shift that right below it. And this is where we've got within that container area. So let's go back over to our sidebar, back over to our content, and we're only going to use the styling that we actually want to update. So we've got float, and in content we have float left, so we're going to change that to float none, and we're going to update width to 100%. So we're going to do the same thing over here, update this to float none, and we don't have to worry about the background color, we don't have to worry about the padding, because these can just propagate from the previous version. So let's take another look at this and see what happens now. So we see now whenever we shrink below 700 pics, they actually stack. And this is in line with our original design here. So one last thing here is that whenever we're resizing, everything else looks good, but this menu is really messed up. So there are a number of ways to handle this, and in the next lesson I'm going to show you how to do that, how to make a responsive menu. So that's coming up.